All right, now we have the markets up, and we started off red, but we're green now, and a lot to get to. Now, we had Nike report their earnings yesterday evening, and it's a continuation of what they've been seeing over the last few quarters. Now, they actually cut their guidance. Now, they announced they're doing away with their forward guidance, and anytime you have a company doing that, it's not good. Now, sales decline. Nike sales declined, down by 10%. Converse, their sales declined, down 15%. And what it boils down to is the U.S. consumer. They're pretty much out of money. Now, in order to try to wiggle around that, Nike announced that they're going to be coming up with more products under $100 to try to entice more consumers, more budget-constrained consumers to buy their products. Now, I got news for them. They're going to have to drop those prices well below $100 because what I'm hearing on the streets, everyone is just barely getting by. And it's going to be a bad Christmas for a lot of people. Now, Nike stock is down about 6%. Now, we had Tesla announce their deliveries for the quarter. And that number actually came in under estimates, under the 466,000 cars delivered. Now, they actually had deliveries of vehicles actually go up quarter over quarter by 6.4%. Now, that stock is down 3.5%. Now, I got a chance to go over a few videos in the last few days and looking at some of the damage from these hurricanes. We're talking millions of people who they lost something of monetary value, whether it was furniture, whether it was their entire home, whether it was their car. This is a heck of a gut punch to the southeast of this country. And insurance, they're not going to pay out. And if they do pay out, in many cases, it's going to be months and years from now. Many of these insurance companies, they'll find some kind of way to wiggle out of paying these guys. But it just goes to show you the financial calamity, the disaster that these storms are creating. And it looks like there's another storm on the way for Florida. And this one could be a doozy as well. Now, over in the commodities market, we have wheat up almost 3%. And we're going to have to begin watching these commodity markets very carefully because that's where the money flow is. And if these commodities continue going up, we're going to be back at square one talking about high inflation. And right now, the U.S. consumer, they can't stomach another increase in prices. Not by a nickel, not by 10 cents. Now, we also have copper up 7 pennies. And I'm telling you, we're going to be in big trouble as you just look over at the commodities market. And once the Fed cuts interest rates again next month, they're going to send these commodities skyrocketing. And the U.S. consumer, they're out of money. There's no stimulus checks coming. Everyone is up to their neck in debt. And if we go back to those high prices that we saw a few years ago, and I believe we will, man, it's going to put a lot of people, they're going to wind up on the streets by the first of the year. And we're also going to have to watch lumber. Lumber's up. Lumber's nearing a 4-month high. So again, we're going to have to watch these commodities very carefully. And again, there's troubling signs in this economy. The layoffs, they're continuing, and there's no stop to it. Every day there's 1,000 here, 1,000 there, and this stuff adds up. And at the end of the day, there are less Americans working than there were the day before. And if this continues, we're going to be in big trouble. Now, this market's green, and I expect them to take this to Dow 43,000 before Election Day. And after Election Day, that's when the fireworks, that's when they're going to start. And they're going to let this dam break. And we're going to be dealing with a slew of crises that have been swept under the rug in the past year. This quick stock market commentary, please like and subscribe.